Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Beauty on a Budget. My name is Heather and today is Wednesday, August the 20th of 2025. So I actually am working on my pantry at the moment, but I do have food products and food items like pasta and pasta sauce, coffee and tea, and a few other odd things up here in my kitchen. So I'm trying to organize and see what I need to purchase for groceries. So I just thought, oh, I got a few things tucked in this bottom cupboard and I will, just take them downstairs. Well, I have a lot more tucked into that little cupboard than I thought I had. I also have a lot of food tucked in all the other cabinets up here. So today, I guess, is going to be cleaning out my kitchen cupboards. I had done the lower ones, so they were fine, except I said the bottom Lazy Susan one, I had put some food in there. So that's what I'm going to be working on. So I'm going to be also taking everything out and cleaning and organizing because I have a lot of dishes up here that we just don't need, we're not using. I mean, that's all collectible cups, but there is some just general water glasses up there that we don't use. There's no point in having them. There's a lot of mugs up there, just... The shelves need to be washed out anyways. Like I said, we got, it's only me and my daughter who have water bottles and reusable cups. So I can say there's more here than me and her need. I will go through mine because I have a couple that I know are kind of broken or I've got new ones so I can get rid of some. Just need to find, other places for this stuff. And then this one here, this cupboard here. I just would like to really organize this well. It's hard to reach everything. This is where I was keeping my coffee and teas. But it is so hard to reach. I mean, it's above the sink is the first shelf. Then you've got two, and then the third shelf, it's almost up to the ceiling. It's it's impossible for me to reach anything that I have up there. So I'd like to take everything down, organize it all. I have a feeling that some of those tins are probably empty because it's been a while since I have made that instant coffee. And then there's just a bunch of other stuff, just stuff behind there. So first thing I'm going to do is just pull just all the food items first. I'm just going to pull all the food items out of the cupboards, like I said, and then up here above the fridge. It's just got a lot of extra stuff up there. I can't reach that one, but there is some glassware, and then I got more coffee up there. And so, yeah, I'm just gonna pull out all the food items and get that all, organized and taken downstairs to my pantry. And then I can start on the dishes and washing out every cupboard because I know I have not washed these cupboards out since probably around Christmas. I don't remember if it was, I'm not sure if that was December or January, something like that. But I can say with the renovations, some of these cupboards, this one's probably fine because we do use this bottom shelf. But some of the higher up ones, when I was reaching for stuff, has a layer of drywall powder. So they definitely need to be washed out. So I'll be back as soon as I get the cupboards emptied. Alright, so I've got all my cereals there, and then these are all my canisters. So I'll be going through these. Some of these, this one is missing its seal completely. So this one here, it is cracked up here. So these are kind of like the ones I'm not going to keep. And I'll be going through all this tea and coffee and seeing, what we use. I'm not sure what's in this one. There is Starbucks coffee in that one. And and there is Starbucks coffee in that one still. So these both have coffee in them. I like these one. This one says Java and latte, cappuccino, and cafe, hazelnut, mocha. I love it. And of course this one is my Starbucks one. So these two I'll keep. These three, I have other canisters that I'm kind of, there's no longer any, I'm not using them downstairs, so I'll probably use them up here instead. But again, I'm going to go through these teas and seeing what I have. I found some soup mixes, croutons, some more, that granola breakfast cereal stuff. I actually use these as the base for when I make granola bars. And then over here, just have, you know, some spices and oils, salt, pepper, some candy in this jar, birthday candles, some sprinkles. Like this type of stuff needs to go back downstairs. And then pasta sauce, cherry pie filling, vanilla extract, some more pasta. And I got a whole bunch of these salted caramel little sugars for on top of your coffee. They were on sale and my husband bought as many as he could that one night. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've got 10 of them. I was looking and I do not see the expiry dates on these, but I know they were bought just around Christmas last year. And it's once we get into winter and stuff, and I will, you know, I always drink more coffee in the winter than I do in the summer. I may have actually used up a couple of these, I don't know. But yeah, it's basically just different types of sugar and sea salt. A little bit of caramel flavoring. So I've got some of those. 2 little timers. I have to test them to see if they work, because I know one of them stopped working. And I got my vermicelli rice noodles here, and these ones are the gluten-free. I believe it's rice. I don't want to say if it's not. Yeah, it's made out of rice flour, but they are gluten-free. I can eat them. They don't make me sick. Got some little bit of canned food. A thing of, this is that Silk Barista coconut milk. I find this one actually, out of all the different types I've tried, this one actually works the best in one of my frothers to really give the good foam. Even without that, just heating it and then just using this little whisk blender here makes, you know, really nice for my coffee. And then out of all the boxes I found, you know, or all the cupboards, I mean, I went through, I have 7 boxes of tea. I have 1 can of hot chocolate. I mean, I think it's about half gone. These are up there. This one, it's either empty or maybe it's got, no, I think it is empty. Then I got a brand new one. Brand new, that's the Maxwell House. I get these at the Dollar Tree, or Dollarama. I mean, I think they're $3.50 for one of these. It's a little bit pricey, but it's handy when you just want to add some flavoring to your coffees, or when you run out of coffee, or, you know, actually, I sometimes just keep these in the car, and then, you know, you get, go into the store, ask for a glass of hot water, and you can make your own coffee on the go and not have to spend any money. And I got 2 of these, the Nescafe Gold Coffee. One is a dark roast, one's a medium roast. I think they're flavored. Maybe not. I thought they were. I don't know. I use these for baking, like when I'm making anything I want to have a little bit of coffee taste. And then I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bags of coffee. Some are ground and some are whole beans. And I will say they're, this one here is from this one here is from Winners or Marshalls. And it's the pumpkin spice, or the pumpkin latte one. So it's just, you know, different brand. All the rest here, I believe these are all Starbucks. They are. All the rest are Starbucks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bags of Starbucks coffee in my cupboards. And that's with all the cupboards, taking everything out. I will have to say I did not know I had that many bags of coffee in my cupboards. I didn't know I had that many boxes of tea. And I kind of knew I had some of these containers with coffee and tea mixes in them. But, you know, until you actually bring everything out and it's sitting in front of you, then you see how many things of coffee and tea you really have. So now that I got all this stuff here pulled out, I'm going to just sort this stuff, get it put down in my pantry. And then I will be back to wash out all my cupboards, because just so you can see food did spill there. See, I got some dust. Now this could just be regular dust, but some of this had some bits in it that look more like sawdust or drywall powder. Although this actually looks more like just regular dust. So I will be back to clean out my cupboards when I get all the food back in the pantry. Right, welcome back. It's now Wednesday afternoon. I've been working on the pantry a lot. I just organizing the food, getting everything into containers. I made a quick list of all the beans and pasta and some of the other items that will need a new container. So I'm up here in I'm sitting in my living room, but I was just pulled everything out of my pantry, out of my cupboards. And I was surprised at food that was in all my cupboards. So I've got coffee, tea, some pasta, some sauce, spices, oils, salt, pepper, and then all my canisters. So I will be just going through all this stuff, organizing, figuring out what items have expired. I found a few things that have expired up in the back of the cupboards. So I'm just going to get all this stuff brought downstairs and in my pantry, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm just organizing my teas, and so I've got these boxes here that open up so you can easily reach the tea bags. This one did not open that way, so I actually cut into the box so it would match. Then I went to, see why it wasn't that way. Yeah, these ones in here are not individually wrapped. So I cut the box for no reason, but that's okay. Still make it work. So I'm just going to line these boxes up, and I'm going to put them up in this cupboard right here. So my tea will be right there on the first shelf, easy to have access to. In my little tea box here, I was able to find 3 boxes of teas and get them in here. So I've got this Haley's tea, and this one is black tea with Melissa and mint. And this again is another one of those Haley's one. And this is chamomile and lavender blossom. I'm not sure if it's like, is it green tea? Yeah, this one says green tea. I didn't see what this one says. There's just chamomile and lavender blossom. Doesn't say if it's black tea. So not quite sure. And then in the middle here, I've got Tim Hortons apple cinnamon. My daughter bought me a box of these a couple years ago, and so now every time Tim's brings out their apple cinnamon tea, I buy a box because I love them. They kind of it's like apple cider. It's kind of what they taste like. So that is organized. Now if I wanted to put these into the box like this, I'm going to need 2 more tea boxes, but they're about $4 each at Dollarama. I'm not going to run out and buy more tea boxes at the moment. Just having the teas like this, you can easily grab a tea bag. With these ones also, I might just put them in a different little container. I do have another box similar to this. It's from the dollar store. A little smaller, and it doesn't have the different compartments, but it might work to help organize the teas as well. And then this is just Earl Grey, and these are just loose teas, so this can just stay like this. And then over here I have all these other pouches of tea mixes and latte mixes, so I've got to figure out how to organize these better. They were in those large canisters, which does help, but it makes it really hard to dig into the canister and get them. So I'm going to figure out the best way to sort these out. But these ones here, I've got cardamom chai, honey ginger, matcha latte, another matcha, and a lot more of the ginger latte. And I do have 2 bubble tea mixes left. So I'm just going to finish figuring out the teas. I did my coffee, so this stuff here is going to go down to the pantry. So this one here, it has coffee, but there's not enough in here for another full bag of coffee, so I can't really add any more coffee to that one. This one here, it had room for another bag of coffee, and it was one of the Christmas blends from Starbucks. So on top, I just put the other Christmas blend on top. So on top is going to be the red Christmas blend, and then the bottom one was the blue Christmas blend or holiday blend, whatever you want to call them. And this bag here, it is a loose, or it's not loose, it's already ground coffee, and it's been opened, so that I'm keeping up here. And I've got this Japanese senchai green tea that I got from my daughter several years ago, and it takes a long time to use up loose tea. So this one I like to keep up here. Otherwise, I will forget about it. But yeah, so that's my coffees and teas. Just gonna get them organized and up here. So I'll be back as soon as I figure out how I'm gonna organize these pouches of tea mixes. Okay, so I stopped at Dollarama and I found these little tea containers. I guess you use them for tea or whatever. They were in by the home houseware stuff, like organization things. So you get a pack of 2. I bought 2 packs. They were was it 25 or 375? I just remembered, and then I just couldn't remember. They were $3.25 for a pack of 2. I bought 2 packs, so this is just going to really organize me and my daughter all of our teas. I still have just these 2 boxes with the loose tea bags. Not sure how to organize these at this moment. But that gives all these other teas are neatly organized. And I'll just figure out what cupboard they can fit in. I was trying to see if they would fit this way, because these small teas work perfect in pack like 4 going across this way. Then all these other like latte mixes and stuff, the packages are wider, so I could just line them up this way. So I'm just trying to see if they would fit in the cupboard like this, but they will not. So I will just figure out which cupboard I want to put them in and get them in. And then I put a few things up in this cupboard. I'll be taking them out because I got to wash the cupboards. I was just trying to figure out how I want to kind of lay everything or display everything in this one here with the glass doors. So I'm just going to take all that stuff out, and then I'm going to move the shelves down because I can move, well, I don't think I'm going to do it tonight. It's a pain to move the shelves, but I would love the middle shelf to be a little wider, but I'm going to leave it like that for tonight. I will do the shelf. I think I'll fix the shelf tomorrow if I need to. And then, like I said, then I will just start pulling all this stuff out of these cupboards, one cupboard at a time, and clean it out. I think I'm going to start with the cupboards that have our everyday dishes in. That way I can pull them out, wash the cupboards, and then put the dishes back in. So it looks like I will do these 2 shelves and these 2 shelves right now. So when I get those ones done, when I get all this stuff pulled out and wiped off and back in, and then I can start taking all these extra cups out. So I'll be back when I've got these 2 cupboards, cleaned out and wiped down. Right, so I've got this cupboard all washed out. Our everyday dishes are back on this side. So this side we have the lemon print, and same with over here. These have all been washed out, and I put these other everyday dishes here, and this side has the sunflower. And I can do a quick count to know how many bowls and plates I'm missing, because there should be 6 bowls, 6 cups, 6 small plates, and 6 large plates. So I'm missing 3 bowls, 1 plate, 2 plates. So it's 3 bowls and 3 plates. And then over here I'm missing 2 bowls and no plates. So yeah, my daughter's got dishes up in her room. I'm gonna have to talk to her about it. Now for the other cupboards, so there's 2 shelves there and the 2 shelves there. This is all the glasses that were up there. Oh, and a juice jug. So I will be going through these and figuring out what we need and don't need, but I will do that after I get the other cupboards emptied out. And then, like I said, this top one up here, I'm not doing this tonight. It's already like 8:15 at night. I gotta go get my husband and daughter from work soon, so I'm not gonna touch that stuff. Those glasses up there, most of those are my collectible ones. I got Betty Boop, the Monopoly games, Minions, Central Perk, and Big Bang. I think there was one more. Or no, there isn't, because my kids took theirs back. So that is all my collector cups. So like I said, I'm not going to deal with wiping those shelves down tonight. And then same with up there and up there. I'm not touching these cupboards tonight. I'll come back tomorrow and do it. But it is these ones here. So I'm going to take everything out of this cupboard and this cupboard. A lot of these have empty spaces because I took the food out and a few other things I found. So now I'm just going to take all of the water bottles and to-go mugs out and wipe them out, and then I'll be back. So this is all the water bottles and to-go mugs that me and my daughter have. Actually, I thought there would be more, to be honest. I think we've already gone through before we moved and got rid of so much stuff. But all those water bottles, these 5 mugs, that's one about my husband. It's the Friends, it says "You Are My Lobster." The lobster. Got these Dalmatian cups. And then I also took out the canisters as well and got that all cleaned up. So now these cupboards are empty. So I'm going to give my daughter this side for her water bottles and to-go mugs, and I'm going to have this side. Now, I was looking at the things of tea. So I bought these little, and they are too long to fit in this cupboard. I had measured them to fit up in this cupboard, which if I go here, it is like a hand width wider or longer. So this will not fit, but they do fit in this way, but I can only get 2 deep. I can't do 3 because of the wire here for the lights and also just the hinge here. It just, the tea bags want to get caught, like you just see that just barely fits under there. So if I got tea bags all the way to here, it's not going to fit. So that's just the one, and I did see it did push it in when the cupboard shut. So I will let my daughter, figure out where if she would like her tea to be in these cupboards. But I'm looking at the clock. Yeah, I've got to go very soon. But that's just what I got done so far. And then, like I said, when I come back tomorrow, I'll get everything put away in these cupboards. There's not a lot. It's just these canisters. I'm just going to figure out best way to place them so it's easy to reach and to see. And all the coffees and teas that gotta get put up. And then my rack here, the plate rack, I gotta get that organized. And then all I have up in there is just 2 cookie jars. So the one on the left I am definitely not keeping. It is broken. And then covered above here is all these pans, and I'm going to be taking all the pans downstairs when I'm finishing up my pantry tomorrow as well. So those I'll just take downstairs and I can organize and figure out what I have for pans. Then I've got the brand new Brita filter up there and the new filters for it up there. I want to move it where it's a little bit easier access. And then I have a huge stack of charger plates, which I will take them down to stairs and store them in the pantry. There's no need having them up here. I don't have like a big dining room table. I'm not displaying, lots of things. So that is, what I'll do tomorrow. And then like up here as well, I can get this one cleaned out tomorrow. Like I said, it's not a lot of stuff, but I think I might take my Actually, I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. All my glass cups, I think I'm going to move them to the cupboard up there. Because like I said, all that's sitting there is 2 cookie jars. One I'm not keeping. The other one, it will fit above the fridge or in the pantry. Although I think I'd prefer to have it up here just because it is glass. So anyways, I'll be back tomorrow and finish the rest of these cupboards. Okay, so I've got all the cupboards done. There wasn't really much to do in this one here. Those water glasses, I just stuck them back up there. A few extra odd little dishes up there. I guess that's the butter dishes, and then milk and sugar. And then this cupboard here, all clean and organized. I haven't done that yet. I'll do that when I get back. This one up here, I've got all my collector cups there and the cookie jar. I'm gonna move them because I'm gonna move some of those cups over just a little bit. They're just too close to the edge, but I was just trying to get everything up there this morning. I'll shut that in a minute. And then this cupboard here is all my coffee to-go mugs and water bottles. And then this side here is my daughter's stuff, and there's some other cups. And then that shelf up there is actually empty. But it was this cupboard here, this nice one with a glass door. So we've got all our canisters here. So coffee, sugar, tea, salt, pepper, oil, vinegar, and the sprayed vinegar. 2 things of coffee back there. This little in here with the tea. And then my things of tea. And then some other tea bags. And then just some other coffee and tea. Little teapot, and then my little coffee press are up there. Just a few little things up there. The timers, I still have to test them to see if they actually work. Even if they don't work, I like how cute they are. Just, I got them angled so I think you can see them just kind of peeking through at the top of the cupboard. So that's what I got so far. So now I'm just going to work on that top cupboard, and then I will have all my top cupboards all cleaned, organized, and washed out. Okay, so I got this top cupboard finally finished. Those are the pans we use all the time. All my other regular pans or my other bakingware I put downstairs in the pantry. I've left my new Brita filter and all the filters up here. I've got the glass juice jug, which I do use quite a bit. Behind there I have the stack of chargers and a few other glass serving trays. I was going to take them down to my pantry, but I'm not ready for them to be down there. And I just don't want more stuff sitting out in my basement. So I just left them up there. And then I've got my little book holder, what I use when I'm baking so my cookbook can stay open. I just slipped that up there. It's not in the best place because I can't really reach it. But again, I'm not sure where I'm going to store it. Probably just move it down just behind the filter so I can access it a little easier. I have those glasses up there. I was at the dollar store and I bought those little bamboo shelves. I think I'm going to use the shelves up there to display some of the cups, so you'll be able to see all the cups I have up there. So that's all organized over here. You can see these are all my water bottles and to-go cups, and then that's my daughter's water bottles and cups. And this is all our teas and coffees. And I just got these containers today from the dollar store. They were like $2 each. And they are perfect. So this is a box of tea that had, I think, 40 to 60 tea bags. So that's what fits in here. And so I just cut the label off of the box and the instructions on how to make the tea. And slipped that there. And same with this one here. This is the Sleepy Time Vanilla. My daughter likes this one, so again, I just cut out the front of the box and stuck it here so we know what teas are in there. So that is done. And then over here are everyday dishes, and then other mugs up there. More everyday dishes, and then all the other mugs up there. And then in here, I've got some water glasses that we don't really use. And then these are the frying pans that my husband uses when he makes his steaks. So those have to stay up here. He will not, he will not go down to the pantry to look for them. So I think my kitchen, all these top cupboards have now been finally washed out and organized. I mean, like I said, there's still a few things I might like to move around a little bit, but that's going to be like as I use the dishes, how does things fit best? Or, the placement of each cupboard or each item in each cupboard as I use them. So again, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who subscribes to my channels and watches my videos, and I will see you in the next ones.